Right, we are following a developing story, breaking news right now. A car chase happening in northwest Miami-Dade. A helicopter following this white Chrysler, 2016 Chrysler. We're hearing it might be a stolen rental car. At this point, this car is now approaching Northwest 2nd Avenue, was traveling from Northwest 131st Street.
We're hearing some word that perhaps the person inside of this car has a gun, but again, these are sort of unconfirmed reports. Very close call right there as they made that turn. They were on 95. They were also on the turnpike, this person in this car earlier, and now we're just getting our chopper up there and following them as they very high-speed chase here through parts of North Miami-Dade County.
Yeah, we're hearing the chase started roughly 10 minutes ago, and you can just see how erratic that driver is going. Just went straight through. It looks like those barriers, and it looks like as well some barricades that were up. Is this near Sun Life Stadium?
It is. They are saying it is the parking lot there of the Dolphin Stadium right now as he's pulling out now into traffic, he or she, but we understand it was a male behind the wheel of this car. It is a rental car, we are told. Perhaps this person had a gun earlier in the day, perhaps threatened somebody. These are still information just coming into our newsroom. We're sort of stuck in traffic right now.
And this area is really congested. This is now the city of Miami Gardens, and it looks like he is driving into what appears to be just a parking lot, some kind of shopping district, and just swerving in and out of traffic. You know, Kristen, whenever we cover these chases, they're a little crazy, obviously, especially during the lunch hour period where there can be a lot of heavy traffic. And the concern here is that this driver seems to not care as it's swerving in and out of traffic at a high rate of speed. Clearly, residential area where those speeds are should be at about 30 miles per hour, zooming by much faster.
Yeah, it's very hard for us, as you can imagine, to tell exactly what roads we're talking about, but we do know this is in the area of Dolphin Stadium, and this person was in the parking lot of Dolphin Stadium for a short time. Miami Gardens is the city we're talking about, now on a road that is pretty free of cars, which is certainly a good thing since this person is in a neighborhood driving erratically. Of course, it's summertime and kids are not going to be in school. They're going to be out and about. And so this is definitely a very frightening situation.
Yeah, we've been keeping our eyes on this. First reports of a possible suspect in an area coming in at around 12:10 this afternoon. So this has been going on at least for the last 15 minutes or so. And the concern, Christy, obviously it's a residential area. This guy is going really fast. Kids could be outside playing. So that's always something that's a major concern when any people could be involved with this. So if you know anyone who lives in the Miami Gardens area, stay away from the roadways. All right, don't go out to see what's happening with this chase. But clearly this is the neighborhood that's just west of Sun Life Stadium. This chase happening in North Miami, first near 131st Street and 2nd Avenue. That driver was swerving in and out of traffic through the turnpike, then to Sun Life Stadium, and then making his way just west of Sun Life to this neighborhood here in Miami Gardens.
And we have... Since I'm sorry that I'm trying to kind of watch and read at the same time, but since we are actually kind of close on this car, it's hard to tell how many police officers may be also in this chase right now, but certainly the chopper is in the sky and keeping a close eye as to where this person is going.
Yeah, in those Miami Gardens neighborhoods, you know, I've got a few friends out there, and it's a little bit of a maze once you get there. So for police to actually stop this car in any way, it's going to take some planning, and hopefully he can get out to an area where police can stop him. But at this point, it appears to just be a residential here where this driver is now traveling. Again, the Miami Gardens area happening just west of Sun Life Stadium. At last, we've been listening to the scanner. We heard he was eastbound on 209th Street, approaching 32nd Avenue. So we're not quite sure if maybe he's making his way to I-95 or maybe up to Broward County. So
just really hard to tell exactly where he is because of how quickly he is moving and this car is moving. And we don't know exactly, as I said, how many officers are chasing him at this point, but he is driving erratically, obviously going up on curves here. Up into the grass area. Again, residential area. It is summertime. Children can be out and about playing. So just be very wary of this situation in the Miami Gardens area. From what we understand right now, he is still in the Miami Gardens area. But if anybody listening to us in the control room or the newsroom can help us out with a location, that would be really helpful. There you see somebody walking down the street. certainly could be very dangerous for people in this neighborhood.
Yes, Northwest Miami-Dade. Hey, if you've got friends or family out there, tell them to stay clear of the roadways. If you got kiddos playing outside, it's the summertime. We know kids are out there, so just let them know. Call your friends, send them a text message, tell them to stay indoors. Again, this is a police chase happening in Northwest Miami-Dade. At last count, we saw that they were in Miami Gardens. It looks like he's getting a little caught up in this neighborhood.
Right, as you mentioned, such a maze. Actually stopping here.
It looks like he's in a park now, just driving on the grass, on the sidewalk. Oh, this could be very, very dangerous.
Making his way back out onto a roadway. At last check, this was the area of Northwest 207th Street and 32nd Avenue, but that was actually a couple of seconds ago. And there you see an officer there trying to block him in, but he just drove right past that officer. Police helicopter above, also keeping a very close eye on the direction that this person is taking.
Yeah, you know, I'm on social media, and so we're trying to keep up with this as well, and people are tweeting out to people in Miami Gardens, be careful out there. You know, a car is like a weapon, could easily hurt someone rather quickly, so that's why police are on this guy's tail, because obviously if there's anyone out there, this could become a very dangerous situation with an accident
now
happening.
Back out into a busier area of town. Again, this is 207th Street west of 37th Avenue. That was where this person was traveling. Not sure what street he's on right now, turning off of that busier area, going back into a neighborhood.
We're seeing it's not just Miami Gardens police out there. Miami-Dade police responding to this as well. We could see the Miami-Dade helicopters from overhead following this white rental vehicle. We're still trying to get all the updates as to who this person might be behind the wheel of this car. But we do know this was a rental vehicle. This happened or started, at least reported, at about 12:10 this afternoon, with the suspect possibly threatening someone that was on a bus. Of course, we're still trying to get all the details as to who this person is, but the problem, of course, is this high rate of speed that he's going in these residential communities. It could pose a very serious threat. There's a police
Another
officer
police
there.
officer right there, now being slowed down, going the wrong way.
Going the wrong way. You know, Christy, when we follow these chases, it's a little unusual for when it's in a residential area. It's really hard for police to stop, especially in an area like Miami Gardens where it is crisscrossed like a maze. You don't know where he's going to go. We've seen him jump on sidewalks, drive through parks, and so it's going to take some time for police. I don't know if they're going to try to corner him in to maybe go into a more busier street so they can finally stop him.
A very difficult situation for them to, because you certainly don't want to put anybody else at risk by trying to track this guy down. Again, in a residential area, this is Miami Gardens. A short time ago, this person was going through Dolphin Stadium parking lot, kind of going right around in a circle right now. It's at a dizzying speed. And you don't know. I'm trying to read signs and trying to figure out exactly where this person is.
Our assignment desk, they're looking through the log, and it looks like he is kind of circling around from 207th Street, then off to 37th Avenue. He was on 32nd Avenue. So again, a warning for anyone out there, Miami Gardens location.
For instance, these people who are just standing outside, that is definitely not the place you want to be.
Yeah,
watching this happen.
Yeah,
we're going to continue to follow this story, of course, for you. Again, this is Miami Gardens. This person allegedly, unconfirmed reports that threatened somebody on a bus in a rental car, then took off, drove on the turnpike, drove on 95, ended up around Dolphin Stadium, and now is in this residential maze of a neighborhood in Miami Gardens right now, going at a very high rate of speed in this neighborhood.
Yes, sticking to that Miami Gardens neighborhood. You know, at first we saw, that was a pretty scary image, that driver just going straight through those barricades at Sun Life Stadium. Anyone who's parked there at Sun Life, you know that some of those parking lots are completely blocked off, but this driver a few moments ago just went straight through those barricades to get away from police, and then took a few turns to get right back into that neighborhood. But for a while now, for the last 10 minutes, he's been going in circles back and forth on these streets here. So a reminder, a safety alert for anyone who lives in this location: stay off the roadways completely. Don't get out. There's another
police officer there. Yeah. And we are hearing from our scanners, it's 207th Street west of 37th Avenue. That is the neighborhood where this person just keeps going around and around in what appears to be circles. Obviously, police are following this person, as well as the police chopper from above, keeping a very close eye on where this car ends up.
And we're hearing via social media from our traffic network that Douglas Road, and that's 37th Avenue, it appears that there are closures in place. Police are out there blocking the scene. This is according to social media with our traffic network. So 37th Avenue near County Line Road, avoid that location. Clearly, police are working on trying to set up some kind of barricade to stop this guy as he just continues to circle around this Miami Gardens neighborhood. We did see him. He was out on the street. The chase, or at least we picked up on the chase right off of Northwest 2nd Avenue and Northwest 131st Street. But now for the last 10 minutes or so, really with no purpose, Christy, just aimlessly going around in circles here. And it is a little confusing. I'm sure, you know, we've been here for quite some time. And there's police. There they are.
The police right there.
That's what we've been waiting to see. And there's another.
You can see the roads are being closed off. He went right by that police officer. Unfortunately, this thing is not going to end soon.
Yes, he seems pretty determined to just keep going, even though he's just going in circles. Not quite sure if he's got a plan to get out of that neighborhood, but zooming way too fast for anyone traveling in a residential spot. And you can see with these live pictures here.
If you're on your lunch break, just tuning in to us, this is a car chase that we've been following for the last...
Don't go the wrong way. Oh,
yikes. We've been watching this for the last 20 minutes or so. Again, this person was on the turnpike on northbound 95, also in the Dolphin parking lot in Miami Gardens in a neighborhood at some points going at very high rate of speed, jumping curbs, going through what looked to be sort of a park area. Originally, we are getting unconfirmed reports that this person threatened somebody on a bus in Miami-Dade County, and this is a rental car from what we understand. And again, police are trying to block off various roads in this area, but so far have not been able to stop this very determined individual who is just going around and around in circles in Miami Gardens area.
We're just getting an update from the newsroom that driver is now traveling westbound on 207th Street, just leaving off of 37th Avenue, again near Douglas Road this afternoon. And again, still in a residential community. This is happening just west of Sun Life Stadium. So just a maze of sorts as he continues to circle around. But quite a few police looks like they're stationed in that neighborhood. Maybe they're going to try and try to block him in somewhere.
Has managed to go the wrong way on several occasions. Now at another busy intersection here with a number of cars. Police helicopters from above are tracking this person, as well as our Sky-10 above this scene. Again, Miami Gardens, residential areas, sometimes going out into some busier roadways. A little hiccup there as he took that turn a little too fast.
And you know what? This is so important for us to cover this, because the problem is this guy is going way too fast. When you're driving a vehicle almost double the rate of speed in a neighborhood like this, where kids could be out playing, anything could happen. And clearly this driver is desperate. So that's why we're bringing you guys this coverage to remind you to avoid this location. If you have friends or family that live out here in the Miami Gardens neighborhood, tell them to avoid the roadways, avoid the streets. Don't go out trying to chase this guy at all, because you can see just how fast he's going. It just takes one little accident. So we just hope to God that police can stop this guy before anything does happen here.
And certainly not paying any attention to stop signs or lights or any of those kinds of things as he makes his way around Miami Gardens. This originally was about 207th and 209th Streets. Not sure what intersection we are at this point.
Yeah, but, the desk saying now eastbound on 211th Street and 32nd Avenue, heading to 27th Avenue. He is just swirling around, kind of hard to keep up with him, but looks like he's on a more busier street, thankfully kind of out of that residential area. That's always a major concern with these police chases, because there could be a kid just playing outside with his friends.
Summertime, and definitely more children out and about at this time of the day. But I don't know where we are exactly right now, but it looks like we're getting to a busier area. Perhaps this is 95, guys? Getting closer?
Yeah. We're seeing multiple lanes. So it looks like 95 right there, or possibly the turnpike. We know this was happening just west of the turnpike, so maybe heading towards the Glades right now as we're keeping our eyes on this developing situation. A police chase happening at around 12:10 this afternoon. Now it's been well over 30 minutes as we continue to keep our eyes on this situation. This is a white rental car, a white 2016 Chrysler. This all happening near Northwest 2nd Avenue to 131st Street. Then that driver making his way to Sun Life Stadium, zigzagging his way through Miami Gardens in a neighborhood, and now appears to be on a major roadway. Do you guys have an update as to where this guy is right now?
This is the turnpike?
Now it's the turnpike.
Turnpike? Okay.
So we're hearing the turnpike. Okay. So this is a concern here, obviously heading, it looks like northbound here at the turnpike. He was heading north earlier.
We're still awaiting word from our newsroom here. As we watch this with you at home, we are trying to sort out exactly what direction this particular car is going in. But right now it is definitely getting into some busier areas and zipping along at a very high rate of speed.
Okay, now we're hearing this driver is not on the turnpike. He was on the turnpike. Ooh.
Sideswipe that car.
Yeah, that's not good at all. So again, this is happening in Miami Gardens, just outside of Miami Gardens right now. A major alert for anyone out here heading out on lunch break to avoid the side streets. He was in a neighborhood, but now he's just driving in and out of traffic.
We're hearing it's County Line Road.
County Line Road.
And he was actually approaching 441, and I'm not sure if now he is actually on 441. So any kind of confirmation of that from our control room would be helpful. But I believe this is it looks like it could be 441 that this person is turned onto. Now making a U-turn.
And Miami-Dade police just tweeting out a few moments ago, breaking news, a vehicle fleeing from police at a high rate of speed in northwest Miami-Dade. They're urging drivers to use caution. That's what we've been telling you for the last 30 minutes or so. Avoid that lunch break outside today, especially in this location as police try to corner this driver in. And it looks like now that is clearly a Miami-Dade police cruiser behind him, another cruiser as well as he took a turn. Our own camera getting a little twisted as well as we try to follow this guy. Several police vehicles, as we can see now.
And now in sort of a parking lot area. I wonder if we're back in a neighborhood, actually, there, parking lot. Was on 441, headed to County Line Road.
Car dealership, that's 441.
Yep.
That's for sure. Right by the station. He'll be crossing Channel 10 in a few moments, possibly, if he hooks a right over to Hallandale Beach. Looks like he's traveling into, not sure if this is northbound or southbound as we're trying to keep our eyes.
Well,
oh, no, he's going on the wrong
side of the road right now. This is very dangerous. He is traveling on the wrong side of what appears to be 441 right now.
So it appears he is traveling southbound on 441. This area gets rather congested. This heads towards the Golden Glades, so this is going to be difficult for him to maneuver around this, but he is going the wrong way of traffic. This is a very scary situation unfolding right before our eyes, obviously, during lunchtime traffic here. But it's very congested on that area. This is near the Walmart. Trinity Church is on the left side here on the east side of 441, so it's going to be hard for this guy to maneuver around.
And again, originally I had said we were going northbound on 441, but it is indeed southbound at a very high rate of speed on 441. Has already crossed 207th and is now approaching, I would believe, what is the next big intersection? I think that this is
near Miami Gardens Drive. Looks like possibly Miami Gardens Drive, and just hooked. It looks like now traveling westbound on a side street here. Doesn't look like a major street. Nope. He turned into a residential neighborhood. This is in northwest Miami-Dade now, and avoiding that major street. That's where police were able to kind of corner him in, and maybe that's why he's turning into the residential neighborhood.
Right.
Now heading back north on whatever road or what avenue it is. And now back east.
If you've been just tuning in to us, again, we've been following this for well over a half hour now. Somebody apparently threatening another person on a bus in Miami, getting on the turnpike in this rental car, then on northbound 95, spending a good deal of time going around and around in circles in Miami Gardens. There you see some police officers right there, but he has managed to avoid them once again.
There they are. That does look like 441 again.
It does.
Does look like he's traveling back on 441 and possibly southbound.
Now it looks like we've turned around and going southbound. But again, for those of you at home, we apologize, but we're watching this along with you. And this person has been going around in such circles that it is very difficult to determine exactly what direction he is going in right now. But he is believed to have a gun. He is believed to have threatened somebody earlier in the day, and has been going through all kinds of neighborhoods and being very reckless going over curbs, going on the wrong side of the street, as you see here, right up on a sidewalk. Again, in a neighborhood where, again, it is summertime and there could be all kinds of children out playing. So very dangerous situation.
Yeah, at the beginning of the chase, that driver crashed right through the gates at Miami Dolphins Sun Life Stadium. And at that point, Christy, I think both you and I knew that that guy was desperate. He was trying to get away. He went right through those barricades, and those gates just went flying open as he then ventured his way into that West Miami-Dade neighborhood in Miami Gardens. So now back into a parking lot. He doesn't seem to have any kind of plan in place, just going in circles.
Yeah, awfully close calls on a number of occasions here. We'll have to reestablish our live shot. We've lost him right now, but here we go. There we are, reestablished on another busier highway here. Perhaps back on 441.
Again, Miami-Dade police tweeting and sharing with all of our viewers, and to remind you guys to avoid Miami Gardens. It looks like this is where this area is staying. Also northwest Miami-Dade, as he is just reckless as he's driving through these locations, driving in the wrong direction at times. And obviously it could be a very major concern, could cause an accident at any moment. This is a 2016 white Chrysler. We're told it's a rental vehicle, but we've been following this chase now for the last 40 minutes or so throughout this Miami Gardens neighborhood.
And it was westbound on Miami Gardens there a short time ago, right at Northwest 7th Avenue, getting out of the car right now.
Okay. And surrendering? It looks like he's surrendering.
That would be a good idea on his part.
Okay.
Yep, getting out, putting his arms behind his back.
Is there anyone in the back seat?
They're searching to make sure there isn't another passenger perhaps in the car with this individual. Not sure exactly where this is coming to an end. Let's see, westbound on Miami Gardens at around Northwest 2nd Avenue. That's where he was a short time ago. So that is the area, the general area, where this is thankfully ending peacefully, it would appear.
Thank goodness. Whenever, Christy, we've covered so many of these chases, and unfortunately a few of them ending deadly. So it's just good that no one from our vantage point was seriously injured in all of this. This all happening at around 12:15, about 40 minutes ago, 30 to 40 minutes ago. That driver making his or her way through the turnpike northbound to the Golden Glades, back through a Miami Gardens neighborhood, also driving erratically around Miami Dolphins Stadium. And now it appears that he has surrendered to police after leading officers on a wild chase for the last 30 to 40 minutes.
Miami Gardens was the last major thoroughfare where he was traveling at a very high rate of speed, going up over curves, onto people's lawns, going